Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. Today what I have for you guys is a brand new GTA 5 Online video. Welcome back to Bottom Dollar Bounties, because this week we have some bounty focus bonuses and bounty themed bonuses this week in GTA. This video will be your weekly update money guide. We're gonna jump in, I'll showcase to you guys how you can make money with the Bottom Dollar Bounties Bail Enforcement Office and Agency here. We're gonna talk about if the business is worth it, for what type of player is the business worth it, because it's not necessarily the best business for a newer player, but I go against the grain on this channel a little bit, and I do think that this business is worth it for longtime players of GTA, especially if you're in it for the long haul and you're going to be playing the game for a long time. We're going to crunch the numbers, we're going to break down the payouts, showcase to you guys the best ways to complete missions. Is this business as good as the bunker, which we had on bonus recently, or the nightclub, or MC businesses, or the special cargo warehouse grinding from last week? No, but those were extremely amazing weeks, right? We need a week to cool off from all that money we were making, and this, I feel like, is the perfect way to kind of wind down a month straight of fantastic bonuses in this game. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for tuning back in. Let's get started. All right, so jumping in, let's just quickly go over all of the bonuses that you can expect for this week. We have three main ones and three real ones in general, and that's about it. So we have double money and double RP on the standard as well as the most wanted bounty targets at your bail office. We have double money and RP on the hunting pack remix adversary mode, as well as triple money and triple RP on all associate and bodyguard salaries this week. The one we're going to be focusing on in this video is the standard as well as the most wanted bounty targets. Of course, you need a bail office to purchase one. If you want to purchase that, go on to Maze Bank foreclosures, find yourself a bail office, pick it up. So here we are at the computer. Once you log into the computer, you're going to be greeted with this screen. The blue bounties here are the standard targets, which you can do 3 of these every single hour, and then basically you need to wait for the cooldown to pass before you can start up 3 more. The red one here is the most wanted target. You could do this once per day. When it comes to the breakdown in terms of money on these, the blue ones normally are paying out between $30,000 and $40,000. A lot of the time you're getting $35,000 to $40,000, but sometimes you'll get some that are under $35,000. So with double money this week, they're paying out anywhere between $70,000 to $80,000. Sometimes you may make a little bit less than 70, but call it round numbers, $70,000 to $80,000. When it comes to the most wanted targets that you can do once per day, these are extremely worth it. Normally they're paying out between $120,000 and $130,000. So on average, you know, depending on which one you're doing, you're making on average $125,000 per most wanted bounty target. Of course, with double money this week, it's going to be paying out between $240,000 to $260,000. Without crunching any more numbers, those are the payouts you can expect. But I want to talk about one thing. Is the bail office worth it? That's probably the question that players ask most if they're not familiar with this business. And I think it entirely depends on the kind of player you are. If you're a new player, my response is going to be different compared to if you're a player who has hundreds of hours in the game and you plan on playing hundreds or even thousands of hours more, like I plan on doing. And it also will be different if you're already a player who has hundreds of hours into the game, but all you do is Caio Max and Dr. Dre Contract Max, and if it's not double money on Caio Perico or Dr. Dre for the weekly update bonuses, then you just don't care and don't want to play the game, right? So what I will do is present 2 different arguments. I'll present one argument of why I think the bail office is worth it and why you should actually pursue it as a business and a way to make money in this game. And then I'll also present a counter argument of why I think the bail office and the Bottom Dollar Bounties Bail Enforcement Agency is not worth purchasing, depending on the type of player you are. Once again, my argument for the bail office comes down to the simple fact of the most wanted bounty targets. We're not even going to talk about the standard bounty targets. We're not even going to talk about the bail agents, which can make you a little bit of money in the background, albeit it's a very small amount and less than like your other warehouse technicians and rooster at the hangar and things like that. But let's do a little bit of math. One most wanted bounty target per day will take you, at absolute most, even if you're going really slowly, will take you 10 minutes. All right, so say if you were to do these for a whole entire year, because you're like me, you're a big GTA Online grinder, you like playing this game, right? And so you're gonna play it all year. Whether or not you actually do a most wanted target bounty per day or not, let's just talk about it. One most wanted target at most will take you 10 minutes. In a year, that's 365 most wanted targets. In total, that's 3,650 minutes worth of time spent doing the most wanted targets. And that's a very generous amount of time because you could probably complete them a lot faster. You can complete them 5 to 7 minutes sometimes. But let's say it's 3,650 minutes you spent completing 365 most wanted targets throughout the year. That breaks down to 60.8 hours of most wanted target gameplay. That will net you, without any sort of money bonuses like we have this week, by the way, that will net you $45,625,000. Think about other money-making activities in GTA Online. How much money will you make in 60 hours worth of Caio Perico? $60 to $70 million, probably a little bit more if you play with friends, and probably around 60 to 65 million if you play solo, right? Call it an hour per Caio Perico heist. you'll make $1 million every single time. A little bit more, a little bit less, you know, it all depends. Kind of the same thing with the Dr. Dre contract. You make $1 million about every hour, 20 hour to 30 minutes. So Dr. Dre is actually very similar to spending all this time on most wanted targets, albeit you can farm Cayo Perico and the Dr. Dre contract more consistently than most wanted targets. But for just gameplay minutes and gameplay hours spent on that content itself, the money is actually very, very comparable. So if you're just focusing on the most wanted targets, just like you would get done with your time trials and your daily objectives, maybe a couple collectibles here and there, do a couple sell missions, do whatever you want, right? Simply 60 hours of gameplay in an entire year spent on these most wanted targets, like our boy Chaz Lieberman right here, that's over $45 million. I think that's a lot of money. But now here's my argument against why I would say this business necessarily isn't really worth pursuing here, especially for a newer player. This business is good if you're a player who has spent hundreds of hours and you want some endgame content to make some money, things like that. So here, I'll just bring up this screen here. We got to stand up from our computer. But if you go to a bail office and say, you know, I think I have the most expensive bail office purchase, but any one of these, say if you just get the most expensive one like me in downtown Vinewood, with all the max upgrades of the first and the second bail agent, your personal quarters, gun locker, and armor plating, it's going to cost you $4,860,000 in total to purchase this business. Now, let's say if you did a most wanted target every single day while this was double money, you did it today on Thursday when I'm recording this video, all the way until next week, you got 7 most wanted targets done. That would be $1,750,000 for only an hour of your time invested, because again, you know, 10 minutes per most wanted target, that would be 70 minutes total of most wanted target gameplay this week. That still leaves another $3,110,000 left over that you could farm from standard bounty targets to make your money back with this business. Call it on average $70,000 per standard bounty target this week. That would be 44 total standard bounty targets that you would need to capture, in addition to the 7 most wanted from this week, to recoup your entire $4.86 million investment. Basically, that would equate to about 15 hours of grinding here, because of course you can only do 3 of the standard bounty targets per hour, as you could see on the computer. So you'd be able to do 3, then you gotta wait an hour to do another 3, etc., etc. So basically 15 refreshes of the list for 44 standard bounty targets plus 7 most wanted to make your $4.86 million. That is why I would say if you're a new player, it's not worth it, because there's many more things, that you could do for your time spent to make money. But this is a great supportive business, just like many other businesses in this game, that is worth pursuing if you plan on playing the game and you like to do a bunch of different activities. I don't think this is an awful business as many people make it out to be. It's not fantastic, there's better ones out there, but it's not awful. It's actually pretty decent. I know I've been going on a while, so let's jump into some gameplay. Let's check out the standard bounty targets, because you guys are probably thinking, Hazard's yapping, right? As if I didn't just explain all the nuances of this business and kind of like break it down officially for you for this guide. So let's check out the Riley Rose bounty right here. She's paying out $74,000. There's basically a bunch of different templates when it comes to the standard bounty targets. These guys are mostly robbing a bank, these South Koreans. The Dugens are in an arcade, an abandoned arcade facility, and then the bikers are in an MC clubhouse. And these are the most fun ones because they involve a bunch of shootouts and things like that. So let's just showcase the biker one first. Just got to drive to the objective, kill everyone, take our bounty target, and return to our bail office. So you can see we just need to go to the Lost MC clubhouse, drive all the way down here, and I'll see you there. When it comes to these missions, you know, you can use whatever vehicle you like, a Raiju, a Sparrow, your Oppressor Mark II. You guys know the deal with me. I avoid using the Oppressor Mark II just because I get so bored of the game playing that way. So I just drive around in my car. You could be faster than me by, of course, using your Sparrow or Oppressor Mark II to actually grind these out. But we've entered the clubhouse. Now, there's basically going to be a bunch of enemies that spawn, and in addition to that, what we need to do is find our bounty target. But as you can see, those enemies are in a room that we can't get to. The room is locked, and the only way to get access to that part of the garage, you'll see these basically power boxes on the wall. You got to shoot them, destroy them. You'll find 2 in this room here, and then the other one, oh, okay. Usually you need to destroy 3. Sometimes I guess you just destroy 2 and it opens up. It kind of depends on the mission, right? So just gonna kill all these enemies here. This guy actually crazily damaged me, but first what I'm gonna do is also take out these targets in the back just so we can make sure we can clear everyone out here. So let's kill these guys. We're good to go right there. Snack up. I'm not gonna use armor just yet, but we're gonna find a couple targets in the back. The red dots are enemies you can kill, and now here's our bounty target. You want to swap to your stun gun, of course. I'm sure If you guys have been playing this business, you know how to do the bounties themselves. But let's just say you just bought the business, you want to learn how to make money, capture your target, you're going to get a cutscene, you're going to toss them into your jail wagon and your jail van here. Then all you need to do is drive back to the bail office, which we're going to do right now. Here we are back at the bail office. As you can see, I mean, this mission took me only 4.5 minutes, and I was driving a car, mind you. If you're in an Oppressor Mark II, you could get there even faster than me. You have to drive the jail wagon back and the jail van back. I always call it the wagon because I'm thinking of Red Dead bounties, and it's kind of a cool name for the one in GTA, but nonetheless, once you turn in the target, you unfortunately don't get paid right away. The bounty needs to be processed, and that will only take you a couple minutes. It's not too big of a deal. You will get your money. And usually try and make a habit of whenever you get back here, if you can call out your bail agents and send them out on work for you to accrue like $15,000 a day, you want to make sure you do that. So I'm going to send both of these guys out for bail enforcement work. And I'm going to go back to my computer here. We're going to log in. And next we're going to go after the guys who are robbing a bank. So that was $74,000. Now we're going to go after Ricky G as a bounty for $71,000. Like I said, these targets usually are robbing a bank. Unfortunately, for a mission like this, it's kind of annoying because Jeanette has you go up to Paleto Bay most of the time to capture these guys. And that is a reason why I would say the bail office is kind of annoying. The missions are fun. I love the missions, but going up to Paleto Bay for some content is very annoying. So that is where I would use an Oppressor Mark II, use a Sparrow or something like that. But this bank robbery is actually in town, so we just gotta head over there now. It's not too far away. Now once you pull up, you'll see like basically a staged area from the movie Heat where the truck bashes into the armored vehicle and the guys can steal the money. But these guys are doing the same thing, except in GTA, right? We need to stop them from robbing this bank. And what's crazy about this is, of course, you have this bank robbery going on. You stop these guys from robbing the bank, and there you go. Now we just want to take our target back to jail. What's interesting, it didn't happen this time. Usually when you do this mission, there are cops. These guys are in a shootout with the police outside, but sometimes I guess you can get variants of this mission where there's actually no cops outside, I guess because there hasn't been a response yet. So we're just gonna throw this guy in the bounty van again and take him back to the bail office. Sometimes you need to lose your wanted level, but it looks like this time we don't actually need to. Here we go. We are back at the bail office once again. That was literally a 4-minute mission, so not too bad at all. The missions that take place in the city are great because you can fly through them. So already in 10 minutes here, we made $74,000 from handing in Riley Rose. We just made another $71,000 from turning in Ricky G. Now let's go after Hunter Dugen, which actually, if you guys saw my weekly update guide from yesterday, then you would have basically seen that exact same mission we're gonna do. We're going after the same target. I'm not sure if it's gonna be in the same location or not, but nonetheless, let's get it started. $73,000 for turning in Hunter Dugen. Let's go. Jeanette's gonna talk your ear off in these missions. If you're wondering why the audio isn't playing for me when I start the bounties, is because I already did that before I started my recording, just so she wouldn't be talking, because that also, you know, not that it makes the business bad, but it's just annoying, right? Jeanette talks more than the auto shop characters, both KDJ as well as Sasanta. Those guys will talk your ear off. Jeanette is no different. Rockstar added one of those DLC updates to the game where the character just talks your ear off like crazy. Nonetheless, let's go to the Hunter Dugen hideout, go find him, bring him back to jail. If you guys are wondering what vehicle I'm using, this is the Lampadati Viserys, which is actually a removed vehicle that's featured back for a limited time this week in GTA. It's a really good weapon, or excuse me, it's a really good vehicle, which I recommend you guys pick up. You can get it from Simeon's Premium Deluxe Motorsport this week. So once you arrive at the hideout, there's going to be a bunch of enemies staged outside. Then you want to go inside. This is going to be the interior of an arcade, of course. Like, it's abandoned, there's trash everywhere, broken arcade cabinets. And there's going to be a bunch of enemies inside. You want to kill everyone again. It's not too big of a deal to handle all these guys. Take cover if you need. If you're a player like me who just likes to face tank the damage, then, you know, all power to you, right? That's just how I play this game. That's how I play Red Dead Online. There's what, maybe 15, 20 enemies on this mission entirely. There's one more guy we got to take out here. Then you come over to this Madame Nazar arcade cabinet. You hear your fortune, you put in the token. That's gonna, of course, gonna open up the door just like it would in your normal arcade that you own in GTA. Instead of taking you to the basement, though, it's gonna take you up to their office. That guy's always going to spawn there. Make sure you shoot him. Equip your stun gun. Hunter Dugen will be on the right side. You stun him. He's taken down once again. And literally in 11 minutes here, we were just able to do all 3 bounties. Of course, we need to drive this guy back. But once we hand this guy in, it'll be 13 minutes in, you know, and we will have made $218,000 in you know, call it 10 minutes, 10 to 15, even if we say 15 minutes, that's extremely fast and easy to make this money. Now, granted, like I was saying, we didn't have any Sandy Shores or Paleto Bay missions. If you get those, it's unlucky. It just is what it is. Half the time you go up there, half the time you don't. We got blessed with the RNG for the missions this time. So in 15 minutes, or in 13 minutes for us technically here, because we just drove back and it only took another minute and a half, we made $218,000. What are we left with here? The one most wanted bounty target for the day, which I think we might as well do for this video as well. We'll be able to capture Chaz Lieberman in less than 10 minutes as well, probably at about the 10-minute mark. This bounty doesn't necessarily take you a long time, but there's just a lot that's involved with the mission itself, from hacking cell towers, finding the location of Chaz, killing all the enemies, then of course fighting through waves of enemies, and eventually finding Chaz and putting him in your bounty van. So what we're gonna do is I'll just speed this up. I'll show you guys a very condensed, highly edited version of this. It's gonna take less than 10 minutes, but all in all, $218,000 from the standard free roam bounties, another $251,000 for going after Chaz Lieberman here. We're gonna make $469,000 in less than 25 minutes here in GTA Online. So once you arrive at the location, you wanna look out for cell towers that are located on top of certain buildings. We have one cell tower up here. This guy's just hanging out. We didn't actually need to kill him, but the first cell tower is gonna be located right in this area. You just gotta head up to the roof. There's gonna be a couple enemies to fight on the roof, but all in all, you just need to hack it by basically planting like a hacking device on the roof. Like I said, most of these enemies, is there anyone up here today? It doesn't look like it. But this one will change location. Sometimes it's just south of here, sometimes it's right there, and other times you gotta climb this ladder as well. And here are where the enemies are located. They're gonna be taking cover behind the AC generators and things like that. But just real fast, let me just show you what you need to do. Right on the D-pad, you put the hacking device right on the cell tower, and as you can see, there's tons of enemies that are spawning down below. You can kill them if you want the XP or the RP. You don't have to. I'm just gonna do it. But if you want to speedrun this, you can completely ignore them. Now, let's go after the next cell tower, which you're gonna find to the north here. Again, all of these usually spawn in different places, but they're all located around each other. So once you know where one spawn is, it's only gonna spawn somewhere nearby. It's not gonna spawn super, super far away or anything like that. So the next location I like to check is right here, and that is where you could find the next cell tower. I'm not sure what this enemy was doing. He was holding his weapon sideways at me. No wonder he missed. But once again, climb the ladder. Let's go hack this tower as well. You're gonna find one more enemy up here that you need to kill. So let's hack this bad boy, and that leaves us with one more cell tower to hack, which you could see it all the way in the distance over there. So we gotta head just over there to the west. As usual, once you hack the tower, there's going to be a couple enemies that spawn, so make sure you shoot them. Remember, you have limited lives. You know, it's not like this is the hardest mission in the world, but you definitely don't want to die, because then, of course, you'll fail, and you'll have to restart entirely, and that would suck. All right, here's the location of the last cell tower, so we are going to shoot you, get you out of the way, climb the ladder, and hack the last one. Once again, go right up, right on the D-pad, plant that hacking device. Now, we're going to discover the location of Chaz Lieberman, and we need to go secure him. And he's actually right next door, which is perfect for us. We don't even need to drive far at all. So once again, we got to enter this building, and it's going to be the interior of your import-export vehicle cargo warehouse. And there are probably about 15 to 20 enemies you actually need to kill inside of this location as well. And this is the part of the mission where you want to be fast and you want to be quick, because Chaz Lieberman has a limited amount of health. So if you take too long to actually go and rescue him by killing everyone, they're going to end up injuring him too much, he's going to die, and you're going to fail the mission, and you need to restart that way. So there's two ways of failing: dying and running out of lives, or taking too long to kill all these people. I love gunfights in this game, so I love going into interior locations like this and just shooting everyone. But, you know, if you struggle with killing enemies in this game, that's totally fine. I would probably recommend just using a rocket and just killing everyone. Just gotta watch out. I wouldn't use it in here because Chaz's location is right around this corner here. Sometimes he's in the office, sometimes he's not. Most of the time for me, he's in the office, but here you can see he's right outside. If you want to make an extra $5,000, you can complete the secondary objective, which is going after the poker chips, which is right here. So instead of us making $469,000 in 25 minutes, we're gonna make $474,000 because you get an extra $5,000 for completing the secondary objective, which is what we just did. So now, no need to tase him, just secure him. And then what's gonna happen is once you bring him into your jail van, you're gonna get a cutscene. The van's gonna get blown up, and you need to fight your way out of here. And there's a lot of chaos and carnage going on. So as this starts, we could check out this cutscene here. You could see how many enemies are spawning. This is a very fun, it's a very thrilling mission in my opinion. This is probably my favorite most wanted target to go after, just for the fact that there's tons of gunfights you can get into. I love shooting all the enemies in this game. There's tons, you know, I just abuse the auto aim in this game and just kill everyone. It's not the biggest deal. There's a couple enemies that spawn up on the rooftops and will get a flank on you, so make sure you kill them because they'll keep chipping away at your health. And then just from that point on, you know, take it slow, take as much time as you need to keep working your way through all these enemies. Chaz will slowly follow you on your 6, so you don't have to worry about driving back for him or anything. All the enemies spawn on the map. You won't be confused on where any of the enemy locations are, but I figured I'd just show you this part so you actually can see all the enemy spawns yourself. They're spawning all over, in front of us, on our side, things like that. No enemies really spawn behind you, so you don't have to worry about that, but they do take cover on this mission a lot. There's a bunch of different places that they like to hide out and things like that. You can either go back around that side of the warehouse or even just come the way I'm doing. I like this way because it seems like the enemies will just continuously throw themselves at you. None of them really take that much cover. You know, keep killing all these guys. Take cover when you need. All the same gunfight tips and tricks in GTA Online apply, but you just keep working your way through all the enemies. And we're basically at the end of the mission here. There's a few more enemies that spawn. There's going to be this guy on the right that I always forget about right there. And then there's going to be this last guy. Now that we do that, we got to get the backup transporter here, which is this secondary jail wagon and jail van, and we need to pick up Chaz Lieberman. You can either let him run to you, but of course he's so far away, I'm just going to go drive back and pick him up. So we're going to go and secure Mr. Chaz here, throw him in the back of our bounty van, and we are going to deliver him to the bail office once again. And like I said, my recording right now is 9.5 minutes. And we just completed this mission. So we completed this mission in less than 10 minutes, but call it 10 minutes for this, as well as 15 minutes for the other 3 bounties, 25 minutes, and we just made $474,000 here in GTA Online. Granted, if you're just farming the standard bounty targets, you're not gonna make almost $500,000 every single half hour because half of it is coming from this most wanted target, but $218,000 alone from the standard bounty targets that you can do once an hour, I think that's pretty fast and pretty easy in my opinion. And that's just with the standard as well as the most wanted targets. Don't forget about your bail agents accruing, you know, $15,000 a day. They both accrue about $7,500 each. So if you have both, you get $15,000 every single 48 minutes. Not fantastic, but it's a decent amount of money. It just is a big investment because buying both bail agents will cost you $1.5 million. And for 48 minutes right there, we just got $13,500. But all in all, that's it. If you try and log back into your computer, you'll see that these targets are secured and they're processing. We'll probably have the payouts and payments for the standard bounty targets. Chaz Lieberman is still processing because it's only been a couple of seconds. But within the next, 40 minutes here, these guys should refresh and we'll be able to do 3 more standard bounty targets. And that's basically the bail office right there for you. I think for many players, like we were talking about earlier, if you're a new player, this business isn't necessarily worth buying just yet. And if you're a longtime player and you plan on continuing playing GTA Online for the long haul, dozens, hundreds, even thousands of hours later, this business is 100% worth it, just like every other business in the game. Content is content nonetheless. This is a decent week. If you just don't like the bounties, that's totally fine. Take a break from GTA. Like I was saying before, the bunker, the nightclub, the special cargo, the MC businesses, those were fantastic weekly update bonuses in GTA Online. We had to have sort of a bad week to cool off from all that, right? Because we were running hot over the past month in this game. I will say, we've been grinding money like crazy. So it's time to cool down a little bit, chill out, take a little bit of a break if you want, or grind this out. I'll probably be doing a little bit of grinding. I almost forgot to mention as well, don't forget about this week's weekly challenge, which we talked about in my weekly update guide on Thursday. But if you complete 6 bail office bounties, any combination of all standard bounty targets or most wanted, or any combination of both, you will get $100,000 as well. So on top of all the extra money you're making this week from the bounties, you're making an extra $100,000 just for playing through 6 as well. But nonetheless, that's everything for today. I wanted to show you guys for this money guide. Drop a like if you guys enjoyed, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new, check me out over on Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram if you want to see daily GTA Online as well as Red Dead Online live streams. I live stream several times a week over on the channel. Would love to have you guys be a part of that community. Again, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you all have a fantastic day, and I'll see you guys in the next video tomorrow, which will be the free vehicles guide. Adios, amigos.